Hey everybody, I'm Tyler Wysong. Today I wanted to do a follow-up video on one of the first videos that I ever posted on this YouTube channel. That is on this amazing semi-occluded exercise called the Puffy cheek. This exercise has helped so many people out there, which I'm super grateful and thankful for. I will say though, I have gotten lots of emails, messages on my social media accounts with people out there still struggling with if they know if they're doing it right, they just can't seem to connect in the mixed voice, or that they can connect on the puffy cheek, but then when you open your mouth, you go back into a head voice. There was several questions that continued to come up about this, and I figured I might as well make a follow-up video answering a lot of those questions, as well as giving you some more tips that you can try to make this semi-occluded exercise work even better for you. Let's go ahead and jump in and talk about this. One question I get a lot is, should there be sound going through my nose? The answer is no. On this particular exercise, when you blow your cheeks up, if you plug your nose, nothing will change. The next question that I get a lot is if you're starting down in chest voice, and there's kind of a little shift into head voice like that, or even falsetto, is that bad? Is that wrong? Here's the thing, it's not bad. I would rather you do that than push your chest voice up there, because sometimes muscles just need time to coordinate and time to strengthen. I will say though, if you're spending a year doing this exercise that way, then there's something going on where you need to figure out how to coordinate a little bit better. And I'm going to talk about some of those things you can do today. I want to give you a bunch of tips and things you can do with this puffy cheek exercise to, one, just try something new, two, to maybe help you troubleshoot some of the issues you've been having. So the first thing I would have you do is take your hand in front of your mouth about 5 inches, blow your cheeks up, and feel that flow of air hitting your hand. Then add your voice to that without changing the flow. Then when you do that on a scale or a slide, the goal is to feel that same amount of flow, same amount of air hitting your hand all the way through the middle and to the top and back down. Because some of you might be going and pulling that airflow back. And we want to keep that flow consistent all the way through. Another thing you can do if you're struggling with flow is get a business card, put it up to your mouth, and you'll hear that little ch against the card. And this is a great way to have another tactile feedback to know if you're actually blowing out the same amount the whole time. Another thing you can do is get a little cocktail straw, put that in your mouth, and blow your cheeks up that way. That's a really fun way to practice this puffy cheek exercise. Here's an interesting thing you can try as well. Some of you, in attempts to keep your cheeks puffed out, will engage a little bit of tongue tension. So if you can shift your focus of pressure in your cheeks, instead of feeling pressure down here, try to put the pressure up by your sinuses, like that. And internally what's happening to shape those places of pressure is your tongue is releasing, or it's actually retracting and pressing down. And we don't want it to retract and press down when we're doing this exercise. That will actually defeat the purpose of the freedom that you could potentially experience from this. If you're a type of person who needs to feel something or to kinesthetically experience it, put your hands down here by your jawbone created to encourage air pressure to not go down here, but to go up. I really like that one actually. It keeps the sound feeling very focused and forward and lifted too. Now, for those of you who continue to flip from your low voice to your high voice, here's something you can start implementing in your daily routine. You can do this staccato legato waltz type of scale that I a lot of times do on a hum, but you can start doing it on the puffy cheek, like this. And when I do that, I do feel my abdominal area engaging each time I do that staccato legato. So you can start doing that to start encouraging more connection throughout your range. It is important for me to mention, doing the puffy cheek in head voice could be an amazing thing to start adding into your warm-up. The point is having control over it. So if you can do this sound up here, when I open my mouth, I'm in a pure head voice. And that's totally fine and acceptable and could be a great warm-up, a great exercise routine. But I do want to address that this type of exercise I love to use to start building a mixed coordination in the voice. You can always check yourself if you're in mix or if you're in head by opening your mouth. Let me demonstrate. So if I do that, if I say, that's a head voice. Now, if I will in just a little bit more intraoral pressure or creating a little more pressure up in my mouth with the sound, without losing flow, I can get into more of a mix. It's a pretty full mix sound, but it feels very floaty. It feels fairly easy. I'm having to will in a little more energy to sing into it, but it feels great. And that would be the place that you could start building a mixed voice from. So that's just a way to start checking yourself if you're in the right place. Now, an amazing thing you can start doing, start using it as a pilot starter, or like, think of it like a consonant, to set you up in the right place for melodies that are giving you trouble. I could start this very high melody. I could start it in the puffy cheek. That will help launch me into the words, like this. So then I'm in relatively the same place that I was with the puffy cheek. And that is the point. This exercise, a couple years later, is still one of my favorite exercises. It's still one of the main exercises I incorporate with my clients all over the world to help them start building a mixed voice that they can actually use. So I want you to start thinking of this as doing your push-ups. You can't just do 10 push-ups and get buff. You gotta do them day in and day out. You gotta start doing variations of them. This is the same thing with singing and really this exercise. This exercise can be done in so many different ways, and it should be. And it's going to help stabilize your vocal tract. It's gonna help open your throat. It's gonna help your vocal cords come together in the right way that they need to actually sing in a mixed voice. It's gonna help you sing with more stamina. It's gonna take away fatigue. You're gonna be able to start to access a more resonant sound. Just by working on this exercise, it is important, like I just demonstrated, to make sure you do the exercise and then test yourself while opening your mouth. Use it again like a consonant so that you're starting in the place of flow and you're starting in a place of your vocal cords and your vocal tract in a more optimal position. You will start to build a voice that is connected from the bottom to the middle and to the top. It's not a magic trick. It's about being deliberate. It's about bringing awareness to what you're doing, working it day in and day out. So remember, for things to change, for your voice to change, you have to change. And the way you change is doing these small, seemingly insignificant little exercises day in and day out. In time, you will have the voice that you've always dreamed of. So I hope that this video helps clarify some things that maybe you've been wondering about, and I hope that it gives some of you some new fun things to start working with. If you did like this video, please give me a thumbs up, and if you haven't yet, go ahead and hit subscribe to my channel so you'll be notified when I release more videos like this one. Until next time.